60,000 lives lost in a conflict that has lingered since the Fourth Republic. 3,000 from 2018 and 2023, according to the Nigerian Security Tracker 2024. The farmer-herder clash. In the geographic heart of Nigeria, there is an ache, a crisis of land, life, and survival that has fractured the peace of the nation for decades. But this is not a crisis confined to distant borders. Abuja, known to be the safest city in the country, or so you thought, is dancing to the tune of insecurity. On the eve of April 2026, a video circulated online announcing the prevailing conflicts between the farmers and the herders in a community at the outskirts of Abuja. You will think this was an issue that would be resolved almost immediately. But the Nigerian police force in various publications debunked claims of invasion in the community. In Gwagwalada lie two communities, bound by shared soil but divided by deep scars, Paiko and Dobi. What began as localized friction over migratory routes has grown into one of Nigeria's most severe national security threats. These lands are naturally rich, famous for the impressive yields of yam, melon, and millet. Yet, beneath this agricultural bounty lies an unresolved paradox that neither side seems to be able to escape. In Dobi, everyday life wears a mask of calm and hospitality. But look closer, and you will find the people nursing a generational grudge. From the community's district head to the ordinary peasant farmer, the narrative is the same, a story of unhealed wounds and constant fear.
We have a lot of Fulanis here with their cows, and wherever you have these people, you can rule out the cases of minor clashes.
See, that kind of middle of the season, that is the actually time we have a problem then. Because that time, all the land and the farmer has already occupied every land space. So there's no much space for them to pass with their cows.
It happens though. They like causing problems. When they encroach and it results to conflicts, they have money, so they pay the police to pick up Gwari people and lock up.
The police is just a
major problem is those herdsmen said sometimes, but it do happen in the rainy season. When we plant our crops in the farm and they germinate to some level, while you expect your crops to grow very well, you see they will just put their kettle and wipe up your everything. So that is what causes the problem.
A few kilometers away in Paiko, the reality takes a different twist. Here, the friction is intricate. Despite sharing neighborhoods, commercial points, and even places of worship, residents say they are being suffocated by aggressive encroachment.
There has been that serious issue of violent attacks when this thing happened, and to some extent some people are even taken to custody and for almost a year. And I think after that, all of us, both the youth and the community youth and the Fulani, have been able to learn their lessons over that. So that is the essence of why we are not living, relatively peaceful.
We have issues with Fulani herders a lot in Paiko. Since we started farming, problem has come. The Fulani people demanded that they be given a place where their cattle can pass through to a place where their cattle can graze. They were given that space, but they left it and entered an egusi farm and scattered it. The main problem is that Fulani youths are no longer controlling the cows. They left it for the kids, and the children can't control the cattle. In Abuja as a whole, Fulanis are more in Paiko than any other place.
We're losing our children, our husbands, because of that. I don't know if government will intervene to solve this problem. More than 5 years. Every year it has been happening.
Every raining season.
Farming season. It doesn't happen when we have harvested everything, but when we are starting to farm, especially as it is now.
But what of the headers? For them, the narrative isn't about malice. It is about survival in a country that has broken its promises. While they acknowledge the escalation of conflict during the rainy season, they blame government for systemic neglect.
During the dry season, there's peace between the farmers and herders, unlike the rainy season when the crisis happens. But what causes the conflict is mostly lack of patience between the farmers and herders. But between me and God, it's not that we don't like each other. We are all just selfish. The problem we are having is also the fault of the government. The grazing reserve is grazing reserve on paper. The grazing reserve allocated to us is still accessed by farmers of the community, and that is because they have not been compensated. If it's truly a grazing reserve, farmers are not supposed to farm there.
For answers, we turn to the state. With the recent creation of the Ministry of Livestock Development, many hoped for immediate structural interventions. We pressed the minister regarding the long-abandoned grazing reserves.
What has the government done in curbing farmer-herder clashes? And there are communities in Abuja that are complaining they have not been properly compensated and resettled after allocation of land for rural grazing areas. And as a result, they both cohabit and quarrel and resort to jungle means of settling their misunderstandings. So my question is, what is the government saying about this? What are the measures being put in place? And are we going to be seeing more of this or less of this?
Very fortunate that 4 grazing reserves have been created for these pastoralists. Kau, Paiko, Karshi, and one other, totaling almost 33,000 hectares of land. But since the creation of those and gazetting of those grazing reserves, there hasn't been any commensurate development to receive the pastoralists. However, upon the creation of this ministry, we'll have conversation with the FCT administration, and we are talking with other relevant MDS. I've actually visited Paiko and Kau. Kau in particular is our first pilot project. As I'm talking to you today, we have sunk 3 boreholes. We have put up a weather station there, and we are getting in there to begin the demarcation for the resettlement of the pastoralists in Kau Grazing Reserve.
Debunking the minister's comment on his presence in Paiko community, the headers say his visit was for commercial purposes as he came to inaugurate the Nestle demo farm in Paiko, disregarding the prevalent issues between the headers and the farmers.
He only launched the demo farm there with the Nestle CBI, the other company, but he couldn't meet with the Fulanis one-on-one to talk to them or to take the issue of grazing reserve. We're only seeing a fence now going on, a project going under FCT SAPZ.
We spoke with a sociologist on the implication of this unhealthy coexistence between the herders and farmers.
We don't expect society to always be social equilibrium. By social equilibrium, I mean everything is working as it should be. This peculiarity is either we fail to acknowledge the peculiarity of Nigerian situation, or we don't want to own up and then begin to treat the symptom and not the cause. The government has to face the reality and ensure that nobody is more important than the other. As long as some people see themselves as more important than the other, more Nigerian than the other, have greater access to Nigerian resources than the other, then the others will not stop struggling. And in the course of this struggling, what do you get? Is these carnages we are seeing, loss of life on a daily basis.
As Nigeria inches to 3 decades of unbroken democracy, the question remains, can a nation truly boast of democratic dividends when its basic food producers and pastoralists live in a perpetual state of hostility? Until policies leave the air-conditioned offices of Abuja and touch the soil of Gwagwalada, the green lands of the capital's outskirts will sadly continue to bleed. Behind every statistic is a family displaced, a livelihood destroyed, and a future put on hold. For these communities, peace remains the harvest they are still waiting for. From the Gwagwalada Area Council in the Federal Capital Territory, I am Dorothy Monday, reporting for RBN News.